those names are not who you send them back to. So maybe you never send them back to anybody.
So that's
How can you
section
prove
E,
that you
now
didn't?
that's section E, that's section E, part 5, section E, under part 4, 5510.
I have another question, I'm gonna come back to the ballots. During election day, there were several machines down. Do you have the time spans of how long those machines were down and put back into play?
I do not have that at mine.
Who would have that?
We would have to extract that from the machine logs.
Okay. And were there any machines that were in the buildings throughout the city that came back registered 0 that nobody voted on those machines?
That I don't know.
Is it possible from your experience for a machine, because I never saw that, but I saw it on multiple machines at my poll, which is bizarre that there were zeros for, for one of the larger races. Is it possible that, no one out of 1,000 people chose to vote in that race on that machine?
If you have 1,000 people voting on that machine, most likely not.
Okay.
But
No, just for the entire site, there's multiple machines, but it would still seem unlikely if there were, and I don't know, I know that you're supposed to make a machine available, one machine per 600 eligible voters, from my understanding. So if you had 5 in a particular location, it still seems unlikely that no one out of 1,000 vote in a particular race. It would seem.
that would, in my mind, that would most likely not happen.
Okay.
So I don't know, that did happen. You said.
Oh, I have the tapes,
Okay.
I have the physical, images.
Maybe that's just, talk to Chief and tell me about that.
No, that was here, in Newcastle.
Where?
I was here in Claymore, and it was also at Bancroft. I was here helping out, assisting,
Yeah.
from Kent
And
County.
I'd like to see those tapes because.
I can have them now.
Sure.
I have them now.
Well, while we have the attorney present, would you like for me to tell them, what you think he would be able to explain a little bit about my case?
Before you go there, I want to ask you another question about this. People who voted mail-in voting, and if they came to the polling places and they were eligible to vote, how could we cross-check that?
If they were issued an absentee ballot,
And they came in and still voted?
okay, the first thing that happens when they show up, they're checked, the poll list, that's on the poll book, will show what their status is. Whether if they were sent an absentee ballot, the process is the poll workers call the office, we verify whether or not a ballot has been returned. If it's been returned, then we have it. If it was
So they
not-
would call the office, that's the first step, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there would be, they won't, because we got several ballots in,
Mhm.
several hundred ballots in on election day. We would then say, okay, can't vote, we have their ballot. Now, if we don't have their ballot in, if it's not been returned, we would then say the person is eligible to vote, they'd be allowed to vote, and then we would mark their record here as having, we would cancel their absentee ballot in the system.
But that would be your control, so a person could technically vote and had not been canceled out for the ballot if they let them through.
If they
That's
don't
a
follow,
possibility.
if they don't follow the procedure, yes.
So how is that cross-checked?
That would come out when we do the voting history.
But that's after you certify.
And that's
Because-
true.
So does the law still state, once you certify, if something's invalid or fraud, it doesn't matter, is that the law?
Essentially. It can be, then it's out of our hands.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Judy.
Mr. Shaw, can you give them a rundown of exactly what happened with my campaign and my confirmation and the absentee count, the voters in my district, what we just talked about in your office, can you tell them exactly what we just talked about?
Wait,
Summary, please.
Yeah.
yeah,
like-
he summary.
yeah, like-
He came in as an indigent candidate at the last day,
I came in on the last day?
or the day before maybe, what,
No,
You made
that's
the
not
ruling
true.
on the last day. I think
well,
that's
we
what
finally,
you're
yeah,
correct to
we
say.
didn't get the, when did you get, I'm not sure recall exactly when you gave me the form, because it's all blurry at this point.
You got my signatures, all my signatures, my petitions, before the deadline, the
Before
deadline day.
deadline, right. And this was, you came in, you didn't have enough signatures initially.
I had enough signatures.
No, you didn't have enough good signatures. Remember, they had to go back and get more.
How could I go back
No,
and get
no,
more?
okay. Once you're at the deadline,
You said you had to verify the
yeah,
signatures. I think
yeah,
that's
we
correct.
verified his signatures.
They were all
And
They were all
and
Democrat, they were all in my
initially-
district.
Initially, he did not have enough.
I had enough.
No, excuse me, let me finish, please. He didn't have enough good signatures because several of the people who he had signatures from did not live at the address that was on the petition in our records. In other words, they weren't registered within his district, okay? He then went out and got them to update their record, correct?
I went out and I got everybody.
And he brought in forms that they, again, for the registration forms, we got them updated in the system, then we could accept the signatures. Okay, and we did. Okay, as an indigent candidate, there are two standards.
I know the standard, the bottom line, were
The
you
bottom
on the
line was-
absentee ballot?
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
I wasn't listed, I wasn't confirmed on the
He ended up with
ballot.
with exactly the number of valid signatures, okay?
Okay, was he on the absentee ballot that went out?
Yes, he was,
Okay, that's what I wanted.
yes.
When was I told that I was on the absentee ballot? Because I wasn't on the absentee ballot. I wasn't on the
No, no.
absentee ballot. I wasn't on the absentee ballot until the absentee ballot was made, until it
That's
went
right.
out.
You weren't on the absentee ballot until the ballots were sent.
But you
Is
didn't
it-
tell me that I was actually a candidate. I was actually confirmed as a
Okay,
candidate
told you were
until
actually confirmed.
they went out, until they were actually
Until we were
at
sending them
people's
out.
door.
That's
So
right.
I didn't have an opportunity to campaign at all. I didn't have an opportunity to tell people that I was running. I didn't have an opportunity to get on social media. I didn't have an opportunity to go on Charles Potter's show. I didn't have an opportunity to make a news report. I didn't have an opportunity to get on the radio with
Okay.
Harmon Carey. I didn't have an
Okay,
opportunity to do anything.
Let me finish what I was saying, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think, Mr. Shaw, I hear you.
No,
but
no,
I-
no, let me
I
finish.
hear you, but I don't think you gotta get loud.
No, no.
He's right there, just
I
calm
know,
down,
I know,
just
I
talk
know,
to
I
the
know.
gentleman.
And I've explained this to him, so please understand. There are two, you're aware that there are two standards for
Yes,
this.
I am.
He did not qualify under the slam dunk. That's the receiving, SSI, okay? So he had to qualify under the second one,
Yes.
which is difficult to define.
All right.
So it was up to, we turned it over to our lawyers to attempt to work that through. It took them a while to do that. Determine exactly what that standard was. But it's not quantified clearly. They finally decided, okay, he did qualify. At the point where we were getting ready to send out the absentee ballots, we sent them out. And he was told at that point he was on the ballot.
And you got a call from John Flaherty.
John Flaherty had nothing to do with the decision being made. It just happened to be about the same time. I've
But
told
you
you that
said
before.
they didn't have the decision made, and then he called you and he called Commissioner Albans, and then my name
That
was
had
on the
nothing to do
ballot.
with it. It had to do with the lawyers getting back to us and confirming that yes, we could proceed.
And you got the numbers now. I got them here, as a matter of fact. Xanthia Oliver, my opponent, the incumbent, who people know, who people might have voted for last time. They definitely saw her name on the ballot last time. They voted for her with the absentees 186 to 90. I only had 90.
Right.
And do you think that me sending out mailers to those people would make it so that they might consider voting for me?
I have no idea.
Because they might not have ever seen my name before.
I'm sure
Maybe if
that
they
they
knew
have.
that I have done anything. You know, how is it that John Flaherty, what did he say about me? What did John Flaherty say about me when you talked to him?
Hey, D,
Can we separate?
let me do this because you had an opportunity to talk to him, and I want you to come back in here and say, I got
Yeah.
a couple of
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you give me something in writing from the attorney to say that we can see the ballots? Can they send you something in writing? Because
They would have-
that's what I came up here to see.
Yeah.
That was based on our conversation. So, could you have them send me something in writing? Or, you know, if they want to get on the phone, because I want to see that before I leave here. I want something in writing from the attorney saying we can't see that.
On a separate note, what he wants in writing, but for me, I want to formally bring a challenge. I think it's under Part A, I'm not 100% sure, but under the code, I want to bring a challenge to absentee ballots based on fraud. The information supplied to the office was fraudulent, and therefore, before they're counted, I need that resolved, meaning counted, certified under the Board of Canvas. Tomorrow, whatever time you guys do it,
You're trying to do
I
that
want to make
tonight.
an allegation of fraud, and I need a determination on that before we certify the vote.
And I put my name on that as well, the same thing. So,
Well, you can make
I'll
it
do my
sep-
own.
Yeah, you make
do
them
your own, but
separate.
I'll-
Make
yeah,
them
yeah.
separate, they have to respond to all of them.
Right.
But, so, I have some issues as, and it's, the department would not know this, but I believe that there's a voluminous number of absentees received by this particular office for the election on 15th, where fraudulent information was provided. And I need to know, I'm here to see your process
Okay.
to verify that the information wasn't fraudulent, that these were registered voters at these particular locations. I'm here to see that process as to how, which is not looking at any ballot, but your process to verify the absentee information that you received.
So let me see.
Yeah, that's it.